And we're back. So welcome. It's the Bowler Sports Report. I'm Charles Bowler. That's
And
Henry Garcia.
I'm Henry Garcia. What's up,
And
y'all?
we are back. We chilling. So we're gonna go over this bullshit fucking loss. But first, let's have a little palate cleanser. First things first, Henry, do me a favor. Break down what you saw this weekend.
This weekend, I was checking out the UFC fights. It was actually a pretty good card. A lot of action in the card. Especially in the main card. We had the co-main event, though it was lopsided. Charles Oliveira mainly dominated Michael Chandler for the most part, but Michael Chandler made it really fun. Closing minutes of the fifth round. It was a 5-round co-main event, and like made it seem like he might actually come up, do like a walk-off knockout, and like pull it off. But he didn't have the gas for that. He ended up getting just taken down and held there for the remainder of the fight. It was a lot of fun, but the main meat and potatoes was obviously Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic. And Jon Jones is the greatest, man. Like you put some respect, capital R, capital E, capital S, capital P, ECT, all over his name, man. Like he just went in there, and even though Stipe Miocic is an older version of himself, he still completely ragdolled him and dominated him for a couple rounds and then finished him. And the way he did, like there was one in the opening minutes of the first round, he just like literally grabs him and just trips him and just drops him to the floor like effortlessly. I've never seen Stipe get taken down that easy. Like it was like, just imagine like an adult walking through an elementary campus and just smacking a kid. and the kid just goes tumbling down. Like it was like, oh my God, this guy just moves different. He just is such a dominating force. And he finished him with a nasty spinning kick to the stomach.
I watched the highlights of the third round. I felt bad for that guy. He hit him so solid. And when I'm watching the replay, and then you hear Rogan talk about it, and like he was saying everything I was thinking, I'm like, that was all heel. That was all heel, perfectly right to his ribs and dropped.
He's too good. And then after the fight, he announced that he's not going to retire. That he's gonna get with who, quote unquote, Uncle Dana, and figure out what makes sense money wise, contract wise, and give the people what they want. Multiple people want a lot of things. Some people want him to defend the heavyweight belt against Tom Aspinall because he's like undestructible force right now, and is also just kind of just smashing through everybody, and he's supposed to be the next generation. So they want to see the next generation versus the generational talent of Jon Jones. And then other people want to see him go up against Michael Pereira, who's just smashing on everybody too, and is like has Jon Jones' former belt, and is kind of wiping out that division. And he's kind of said that he's down to go up to heavyweight. So, I mean, those two fights would be fun. I personally think the Pereira fight is probably what's going to be done, because I don't think Jon wants anything to do with Tom Aspinall, as far as like he feels like Tom Aspinall hasn't done enough in his career to fight him, like a prize fighter such as himself. Whereas Pereira, that's a champion versus champion. He's going up against someone who's kind of holding it down right now in his former division, which he dominated for so long. For him, I think there's more legacy fight there than it would be for Tom Aspinall. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the people get.
So one thing when I was thinking he's going to fight some other people, and I don't know, I don't follow the UFC like that, but what happened to, I don't know if they're in the same weight. What about Ngannou?
Yeah, but Ngannou's not in the UFC anymore.
Oh,
And
weird.
he had like a nasty breakup with Dana and called out Dana for a lot of like things, like behind the scene things. And
Oh, so
Has
no
been
one.
like has gone like on a bashing tour of Ngannou, and
Oh
like
shit.
it's yeah. So there's no way that like us knowing Dana's ego, there's no
Yeah.
way Dana's gonna bring Ngannou back in the fold. So yeah,
So it's
and
no go.
Ngannou's currently already signed with a PFL,
Okay.
who's all kind of folded in with Bellator. So it's not
So
happening. He already belongs to a different organization.
okay. So cool. All right. Well, there you go. That was a little UFC update from the
That was a
homie.
UFC update. Basically, because we're about to talk about how the Seahawks tapped into the John Jones energy and and smashed on
They
the
didn't smash us. It was a
they,
close
they,
bullshit game. You know what my dad said? You know what my dad said?
they smashed. Hold on, let me just clarify what I said. They
Okay.
smashed in the sense that they got the win, and their quarterback and their head coach pulled the gutsy plays when they needed to be done, and our quarterback missed plays when they needed to be done in the fourth quarter, and our uh and our coach did not go for it on 4th and 6 to put the game away in the fourth quarter. Like fuck it, like let's just call it what it is.
Dude, that
What did
fucking
your dad say?
no, he said it seems like they were just like running in quicksand. Like they just weren't what's that? Is that your safe word? What is that?
I just want to say something.
Oops, okay, go.
I just didn't know if you were gonna keep talking. I don't want to talk over you because
Oh no, I got you. And
you
no,
know
we
me.
good?
I don't. You know me. I'll just start talking and I'm trying to fix that about myself. I talk over people and I hate doing that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I think like it was CMC who looked the most like he did not look like himself. He's running slow. He looked slow against the Bucks. He looked slow again today, hitting the holes. Um, do you know what his longest run was?
Maybe 12, 14 yards, 13 yards, something like that.
13 yards.
There you go.
And then we were all saying, a lot of us were saying, oh, when we get CMC back, we're gonna be this force again in the red zone. And
Yeah.
they who did they have to rely on in the red zone? Jawan Jennings
Oh
to
yeah.
get a
Jerome,
touchdown.
man.
Purdy's legs to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, so
Dude, so
yeah.
keep going.
No, you go ahead.
No, I would just say real quick, just this stat from David Lombardi put out. Average yards of separation at time of each 5 worst NFL teams. Carolina Panthers 3.3, Tennessee Titans 3.3, New York Giants 3.3, Dallas Cowboys 3, and 49ers 3. We're tied for the least separation in the league.
Yeah.
And I thought, and like Pearsall, I like Pearsall. And it's funny, Larry Krueger put out a tweet like these. Remember what I was telling you? Like the wide receivers are going to be linked forever. It was Pearsall, Leggett,
McConkey.
Dion, the guy who went to the Buffalo Bills, Deion Cole, I think he's the former Florida State guy, and then right underneath that was Ladd McConkey.
Yeah.
So they went 1-2 back to back to back. And I was like talking about Leggett, but I'm like, is he twitchy? Is he just a long speed guy? I know he's a red zone threat, but yeah, bro. And like to me, I was like felt so good about Pearsall after last week. To me, I'm not gonna go because like the guy got shot, he missed some time. Give him some time to get in there. Kyle needs to be finding ways to get the guys the ball because like no matter what, he looked dope. He showed ability, he flashed. He showed he could ball. Like I already saw a great thing in that Bucks when he beat who's that Antoine Winfield, that safety to get to the pylon. Like he did his thing. But anyway, I just had to share that real quick before I forgot. But back to CMC not looking great, and also Purdy, like that pick that he threw. If you rewatch that play, Debo comes in like a lazy like orbit motion. Like that's when you go beyond. There's jet motion and there's orbit motion when you go behind the QB. And he goes and hangs out in the backfield, like kind of in the flat, but in the backfield behind the line of scrimmage, just like real lazy. Like, bitch, no one is fooled. No one thinks anything's happening with you. It's just kind of like a waste, like his energy. And then Purdy looks to his left and tries to hit a covered CMC. CMC was super covered, and then the ball got tipped up, and then Sheldon Rankins gets a pick, and that's a turnover, and that leads to a field goal. We lost by one.
I mentioned that on Saturday too. Like that's the kind of quarterback we have. He wants to thread the needle. He wants to tap into that Favre-esque kind of mentality of risking it all, a big reward, mindset, but can also cost you pretty big as well on the opposite end of that. And it wasn't a good pass. It just wasn't a good pass. It was like one of those passes that reminded me of Christmas night against the Ravens, where it was just like him trying to do too much. And I feel like everyone was covered. And then that was probably like the hot read that Shanahan is constantly talking about, how everything is built in, everything is built in. And it's like, the league's caught up. I think the league's caught up on Shanahan, full stop. Like, I feel like his creativity has been fully dissected. It's like a frog in a lab, you know what I mean? And people didn't know what to do with it maybe 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. This year, multiple things are also causing the league to like catch up to it. Is we don't have any speed.
No, we have speed. We don't put it on the field.
We don't have any speed on the field. On the field.
4 wide.
But now Cowing's got.
He's a 4-3 guy. He's a 4-3 guy.
Cowing. Yeah, but who knows when we'll see
in the game?
He got a concussion. He got a concussion. He's out for who knows how, for at least next week, maybe. We don't know. He left the game. He didn't come back. Outside of him, there is no other speed guy though.
There is.
No, we're talking about wide receivers right now.
I heard that he played wide receiver in fucking high school. You can't flex him out. You can't make him dangerous, put him in at fullback and have him go out in the fucking thing. You can't do that and have Cowing on the other side.
At this point,
why not? Why can't you do that? Why? What's against the rules?
I feel you. I didn't know that. I didn't hear that.
It's creative.
But if they got to get very creative. I mean, they got speed. The one speed person that we do have that's a player is CMC, and they're not putting him out there as much as a wide receiver, as a slot.
And you have Mason. Put him in the slot. But imagine him in the slot, Garendo at fullback, Mason in at running back, and you've got Cowing on the outside.
Honestly,
and you have Ricky Pearsall, who runs a 4-4.
Moving forward, I can see a way of us being a lot more creative and putting defenses on their heels with having CMC play 60 to 70% of his snaps as a wide receiver, Mason in the back. And it's like, okay, what's going to happen? Are they going to do a jet sweep? Is he going to gash out and they're going to throw another pretty dime the way that little rainbow pass that he gave them against the Bucks to last weekend, or are they going to hand it to Mason, who we know is positive yardage almost 99.999% of the time? The dude is going to fall forward. The dude's going to get 3-4 yards. Like, he's a walking 3 to 4 yards constantly. And so, like, at this point, it's like, let's feature Mason as the main running back. Let's put CMC as a wide receiver. Let's get some speed in there. Let's help Brock out with some actual speed. Because if our number one target is JJ, and let's go 3rd and Juwan all day, but he's not fast. Right, he's gonna gut it out. He'll catch. If you need 10 yards, you could throw it to him for 6, and he'll find a way to get the other 4. But that's not how you win games. You
want to hear stat? So real quick. So in the second quarter, a little after 6:30, at that point in the game, CMC had rushed 7 times for 20 yards. It's less than 3 yards a carry. Yeah, get him away from the big boys in the middle. Put him out there and like let's not get CMC killed.
And that's where look, if he's running for that little bit of yardage, that means he's getting big bodies falling all over him, which is gonna lead to his Achilles getting fallen all over on, stepped on. Like
Pearsall targeted twice. That was it. 0 for 2, targeted twice. That's it. Like I guess how many carries did Mason have? Two. Mason's 2 carries.
2 for 13 yards.
Did he even have one? Or
Guerrero had 0 touches, man. The only touches he got were for special teams, for kickoffs, and that was cool. I thought when I saw that at the beginning of the game, because we got the ball to start the game, and I saw Guerrero back there. I was like, okay, I see they're trying to add a wrinkle. That's cool. Like that's good. But it's just big problems all around. And then Mason tried to go in there for a punt return, and he like muffed it. And I feel like
he went out of bounds, and he hit it out of bounds.
He did a heads up play. He got it out of there. But I feel like that's what led to him kind of being put in the doghouse. And it's almost like one of those, like, Kyle's mad at you. You screwed up. Now he's going to show you that you need to be better on situations like that. And he's going to take you off the field, even though the team needs you on the field. It's just like, I feel like that's just, I'm getting burned out with this type of leadership, man. I'm so burned out with this leadership. And you know what? And Kyle is burned out because he looks like it.
Saw the thumbnail? Just him with the presser.
He looks bad. He looks like Voldemort, bro. He's like,
he doesn't look like he's having any
soul's getting sucked out. He's not having fun. Why would he have fun? Why would he have fun? His team sucks.
SF, so Niners, 29 points allowed in the last 2 minutes of second half. Second most in NFL next to the Bengals, who also pretty much, did they blow a lead or they just got close last night?
No, the Bengals actually came back from a 23-6 deficit, and made it a very fun game. Oh yeah, they made it a real fun game for all of us. They just couldn't pull it off, but it was right there, and thankfully so. That I'm rooting for the Chargers to win games. So that was a fun game. That was dope. I totally thought, and I was on the phone with you, and I was like, oh man, the Chargers are charging. I was like, they're doing what they always do, and then they didn't. But we're not going to talk too much about that.
No.
Congratulations to them. Congratulations to them.
How fucking Sorensen only blitzed twice in that fucking game. Bosa goes out, get creative. Quit sending 4 fucking guys. You need to heat these guys up. Bosa's out. He's hurt. Like, he's going to be out for who knows how long. And you blitz twice? Like, the defense is so uninspiring. Let me just look at, there's anything else. The penalties were crazy. We had like 9 penalties. Then they had 3. Brendel's got to go, but we'll talk about it. Just a bad. They had, it's crazy. They had some stat. The where is it? Talking about the basically the most botched snaps and like fumbled snaps or whatever. Like the league high is Seattle, so maybe that's why the center retired in the fucking middle of the week. But it's not a good look. And to have Gino do the night, the Curry night to the crowd. Okay, bro. All right.
No, he earned that.
No, he did. But one thing, but good. That's fine. One thing I will say was interesting is that I did like that Shanahan used Jalen Moore as a jumbo tight end to block. Like how the Ravens use I just like having there's other talent, like use a big ass, bring in different formations and do shit like that to make room. And instead of having Kittle, when he gets back, have to take the brunt of these huge defensive ends, let's have a jumbo tight end come in and let Kittle be a goddamn receiver. No?
Yeah, let's have a jumbo. Let's have these big guys come in, but let's like let's get Mason some touches, man. There's nothing good that came out of Sunday for the 49ers.
No.
Nothing. They scored 17 points. 17 points against a defense they had previously scored 30 plus points on a Thursday night game on a short week in Seattle. Like they I'm going to say this about them. The 49ers have become the biggest procrastinators in the NFL. They are like that one student who knows he's good at his work. He's got all the talent, and he chooses to wait for the very last minute to try to turn it on and get all of his stuff done. And that's what the 49ers are. They're trying they don't start strong. They don't start strong. And even when they do, they take their foot off the gas and let teams back in. And then before you know it, their defense has to overly work themselves and find themselves in these 2-minute drills against teams they shouldn't find themselves, which were all NFC West teams this year, because they've all beat us now when we've had the lead in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go.
Can I give you two? Can I give you two stats?
Pathetic, bro. It's pathetic.
Fred Warner called the loss infuriating, but let me give you two stats and we'll move on. So SF Red Zone touchdown percentage 2023 67% first, 2024 47% 28th. Goal to go touchdown percentage 2023 83% fourth, 2024 55% last. There you go. You're not going to win games if you do shit like that. All right, let's move on. Next topic.
Pathetic.
Yep. These are going to be quick hitters back to back. Just real quick. So when I take my notes, I started a new thing where I just do on a top left paper, I do flashed and then top right flickered. So I'm just writing who flickered quarter to quarter. So first quarter, Purdy flashed actually. Guerrero on kick return, 2 nice kick. YGM, Yetur Gross-Matos, Bosa and Floyd both got sacks. That's the flash, and then flashed. YGM. I wrote him again because YGM coming on. He was just gassed towards the end, but I like what I see out of him. And then, do I have anybody else who flashed to me? And then I wrote Purdy and Guerrero again on kickoff. And so we're good. So that's who flashed to me, and I think that's not. And Juwan Jennings, but it's a short list. That's what I got, and then we can keep it moving. Let me go to who flickered, because it's pretty obvious. Let's see. What do I got? Mason fumbled that kickoff return. McKivitz gave up a huge sack, but McKivitz actually did make one good play where he allowed Purdy to get that edge on that big end around where he got that first down. The guy got passed off and got past him, and Purdy got in the backfield, or McKivitz got in the backfield to get Boye Mafe. Just a little bit of a chip to give Purdy enough room to get out if you watch that play again. But he also was tracked. McKivitz, Brendel, and the offense. Oh, and Sorensen blitzed twice in the game. So not good. Not good, to quote Trump. Not good. All right, here we go. Kyle looks burnt.
Now, hold on. I want to talk about who flashed too.
Okay, let's go back. Let's do yours.
The Seahawks defense flashed.
Okay.
The Seahawks defense had Purdy running for first downs because Kyle's game plan did not have the actual answers. Purdy had to take it on himself to be the answer. And Purdy only had to be the answer because the Seahawks defensive line specifically, put him in that situation, put him in that corner. So Purdy, yeah, he flashed, but not because he wanted to. Not in the way he wanted to is what I mean. He didn't flash the way he wanted to. He flashed out of desperation, I got to make a play because there isn't actually an answer in this call that my coach wants me to run. So, yeah, the defense of the Seahawks flashed. DK Metcalf on his return flashed. He just punked out Yadam consistently. he had good plays against Renardo Green, who, he just flat out beat Renardo Green. Nothing against Renardo Green. Renardo Green covered him really well. He just got beat by a player who was playing better that day.
Yep.
That stuff happens.
All right. All right, we got 14 plus minutes. So who flickered real quick for you?
Who flickered?
Know. The Niners. The offense.
Mason flickered in those 2 plays that he got. He flickered, and they should have seen that flicker, and they should have known, hey, that light bulb there, we need to turn it on. And that's
we
who
need
flickered.
To screw it back in a little bit. What the fuck?
Yeah, we need to screw it all the way in, and let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it lit in here with some Mason. No, they didn't do that.
All right. So now, all right, Kyle looks burnt really quick. Are we what do we think? Are we just waiting until the season ends to assess, but it just doesn't. The body language seems terrible right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's no point. I feel like it would be too much of a knee-jerk reaction. This is why I dislike a lot of our fan base. Are like, oh, Pete, someone's got to go. Things got to change. It's like, yeah, things got to change, and people will go at the end of the season. Like, it's too.
So let's just move on.
We just gotta play it out the way it is. Shanahan is he's burned out, and he
here.
And it's almost like he spent too many days in Cabo this summer, dude. Like he didn't he didn't bring any new wrinkles to this. He didn't take the bye week to assess himself and be like, all right, how do we get creative? We were already in a funk. We like, if there's one thing all of us can, like, as 49er fans can like lay our hat on, is that, okay, however the first half went, that's how the first half went. Here we go after the bye. We're going to turn it on, because that's what we've seen the past 3 years. Mm-hmm. This year, there's no turning on. Even that win against the Buccaneers, it was a win, but it wasn't like a win against the Jags last year when we came back from our bye, where we just completely went over there and just clowned on them all bad. And that was right before they spiraled down, and they were a top team in the AFC standings. This team is going nowhere fast, man. Nowhere fast.
All right, then let's move on to something that can maybe fix it. So bench Brendel in favor like Feliciano or Drake Nugent.
100%. Okay. I think Feliciano needs to. I don't think he played because he had some kind of little injury. Because he was ready to. He was. They were reporting late last week that they were going to call him up from his IR, and he's been practicing, so he's eligible. But we got to see him there on Sunday. We've got to see him playing on Sunday. He was one of our better linemen last year. We saw what happened when he wasn't in that clutch play in the Super Bowl, which who knows, man, in a different timeline, he makes that block, and then this horrible season doesn't feel so bad because we're the fucking Super Bowl champions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to get Feliciano on there. I like his play.
Okay, we're gonna keep it moving here. Kyle, we kind of just talked about it, but like, get some speed on the field and just see, like, fucking, what are we doing? Like, just try something. Do something different.
So Cowing's probably not going to play this coming week, so we don't have any speed in our wide receivers outside of Cowing, which was already bad to begin with, that we didn't prioritize that in any kind of way. We had the Marshall from that we had snagged from Carolina. I think he's still in our practice squad. I don't know why we don't bring him up. He's pretty fast.
Terrace Marshall?
Yeah.
Did we bring him back? Because we cut him.
Yeah, I know we cut him, and then I think he's in our practice squad now, though. I think we picked him back up. And I doubt it. I doubt that's a far cry, but he does have some speed. So with Cowing out, like we talked earlier, let's get CMC in the slot a lot more. Let's see him playing receiver more than we see him playing running back, because that's where we can really offset everything with either Guerrero or Mason in the back.
And can we try to get something out of fucking the tight end position and plug in and just see what Mason Pine looks like? big, tall
No,
basketball background. No,
no, not if Kittle is back. If Kittle is back, like why didn't we do that this week? That's what I'm
what are we
saying.
getting from Willis?
Nothing.
He's on the raw. No shit. Then why don't we try something? How about try the big 6'7", 6'8" guy who can help out in the red zone, who played basketball, who can dunk a ball? Like, how about him? He looks good. I've seen his highlights. Why not try that guy in the red zone?
I just
Why
feel like
not?
we're
What
asking.
do we
I
have
feel
to
like we're
lose at this
asking.
point, bro?
Well, yeah, we don't at this
We're in
point.
4th place in the division. What do we have to lose? If anything, let's get a better draft pick. Let's see what these guys look like. If this ain't the year, let's find out what we got going into next year. Yeah, in games.
Sure,
Right.
I'm sure that Kyle is gonna try to win the game the only way he knows how to win games, and that's like doing the same stuff he's been doing against the Packers. And if they win, he's going to be stubborn and continue his same stuff. He's not going to get. I doubt we see anything different. He's gonna try to run this till the wheels fall off. And once the wheels fall off, then we'll probably start trying to.
I wonder what the conversations are like with John Lynch and him. I wonder if John's like, hey man, like we're fly on the wall in that office. Anyway, let's keep it moving. 49ers seem to this has been a problem. It seemed like they have no ability to play. They're front runners. They play from ahead, use up clock, da 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 da. If they have to hurry up and come back, it seems like they lack any ability to have a hurry up tempo offense. Like they can't do it.
Yeah.
I've never seen them be able to do that ever.
Well, this goes back to them not having speed to do that. And Kyle chooses not to be creative. Quite frankly, like I feel like on 4th and 6, they should have gone for it. They were already like in the 40-yard line on their side. They ended up kicking it off, and Seattle got it in the 30 anyway. You know, so like you just gave it to them 10 yards ahead from where you were. You know, like it's just bad.
All right, let's keep because we
got this is and you know what? To the title of the show, this is the best we can do. This is it.
This is to answer the question. This is actually the best we could do. So I love this is something I've thought of for a while, and like you guys are acting like you're champions and you're fucking not champions. Can we ditch the fucking boombox already? I'm sick of these guys coming out. Shut the fuck up and go out and play football, bro. They have music at the stadium. You don't need to bring this stupid gimmick boombox. At first, it was cute, cool. I get it. I love music. I got a Soundbox 3 or 2. It's incredible, but quit acting like this. I'm sick of that optic. And who leads them out? It's Debo, who's probably going to be gone next year, and Trent Williams, who's going to retire in a year. Move on. New energy. Try something different. This isn't working. You're not winning. You're 500.
Can we trade that boombox for something? Can
we get a couple first round picks for that boombox, please?
Can we get a defensive end for that boombox?
Can we? Can we get a dope ass, tall, strong, alpha, fast, top off the defense wide receiver for that boombox? Do that?
Oh,
no.
Man.
You know what we need, bro. I'm watching college, so I got plenty. Once we get to draft stuff, I got plenty of ideas. Real quick, Michigan's Colston Loveland or whatever. Sick. He's like a Kelsey. He reminds me of a Kelsey. And there's another guy who plays for Penn State who's sick. I've seen they line him up everywhere in the slot. He took a direct pass from at QB position and ran up the middle like he's a dog. So we need to upgrade tight end too, but what's for another day. Let's go around the league real quick, and then I think that's our last topic. And we've got 5 minutes. We got a little over 5 minutes. So, anything that stuck out to you around the league?
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers have a nasty
you're freezing up.
Defense, man.
Yeah,
they got. Oh no! Am I good now?
You're back.
Okay, they're freezing. No, they're freezing. They're just dominating really bad. They're too good. What they did to Lamar Jackson and just kind of brought them back down to earth. Yeah, Lamar kind of made it a game towards the very end, but they held him to 10 points for 3.5 quarters. You know, I'm impressed, man. I feel like I'm not gonna sell Wolf tickets. That's a real team. I feel like you give Russell Wilson, if he can just flash, that's the quarterback they need, and they can. I see a universe where they actually show up to on a Sunday for an AFC Championship game. It's interesting. One second. There's 2 matchups they got this season, and I can't wait to see them. It's one against the Chiefs, but the week before that, they're playing the Eagles as well, and that's
going to be the great. Ravens again. In between those games, they play the Ravens again.
Yeah,
watching that, I totally was thinking, like, I can't wait to see one of these two teams play the Chiefs or the Bills.
Well, yeah, we're gonna see them play the Bills during the regular season. We'll see what that looks like, and I think the Chiefs are
not
going
to Pittsburgh.
That's on Christmas Day. That's on Christmas Day as well.
So it's Chiefs Steelers. Chiefs Steelers play each other.
Yeah,
and then let me go to the Ravens schedule real quick.
Chiefs Steelers in Pittsburgh. Chiefs Ravens in Pittsburgh. In Baltimore, because they just played this Sunday in Pittsburgh, and then the Eagles game is in Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Ravens don't play. Ravens play the Chargers next game. Then they play the Eagles, Giants, Steelers again, Texans, Browns. But the most interesting is what the Steelers got. I want to see that game. The Steelers.
I'm excited.
I'm excited
about that. And then we talked a little bit about this earlier in the show, but I'm excited about the Chargers. They found a way to win a game that they have historically in their franchise lost. You know, like watching that game, I was like, oh my God, they're gonna give it up just like they did a couple years ago in the playoffs to the Jacksonville Jaguars when they were up 27-0 and they allowed that team to come back and win the game. And they pulled it off. Like, they shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with. And their defense, that's the first time that defense, any team has scored more than 23 points. The Bengals scored 27. They're like per game average. They're holding teams to 13 points besides last night's game. So that defense got tested, but in the fourth quarter kept holding its ground. So and then Herbert came through with some clutch plays to the rookie McConkey. Daddy! Oh, that was so good.
Every time I hear McConkey, I just think about, like, we got Pearsall. Pearsall's got to be better.
So good.
Hey, okay, all right, okay. Last thing. So we're at we got a minute 15 left. So last thing is, you reminded me with the Pittsburgh thing, Russ. Seeing him play, remember we watched him play against us, and then, like, he do that goddamn Houdini shit. He did a Houdini shit where he gets out, works himself out of the pocket, rolls right, attempts to throws it in the end zone, and his 6'7" tight end, that Georgia guy from Washington, from Georgia, he's 6'7", not Freiermuth, the black dude. He's last name Washington.
Oh, no, okay.
Washington. He's from Georgia. The 6'7" tight end from Georgia.
Okay.
He doesn't even jump. He doesn't even jump to try to get the ball. Doesn't jump, and then the other guy intercepts it in the back of the end zone. But, like, it was one of those plays. It didn't work out this time, but it was totally one of those vintage, like, Russell Wilson, like, oh fuck, damn it, like that.
Listen,
remember when
man,
your daughter?
I think since go ahead. What were we gonna say?
I'm just saying your daughter. When we were watching that game. When we had Trey Lance was actually playing versus Seattle, and then we were playing and we had the lead, and she was like, "We're gonna run." We're like, "You got to watch out!" Like Russell Wilson's Houdini, and then he ended up coming back and beating him. But that's the alarm.
Exactly.
Our alarm just went off. So that's it for the show, huh?
I think so. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this weekend was a lot of fun. There was actually a lot of fun games, a lot of suspenseful games, and the 49ers versus Seahawks were one of them. It just didn't fall in our favor, but, like, for a football fan, that was a fun game. That was a good game in regards to close game, in regards to an underdog, the Seahawks. Geno Smith not having a single game won against the Niners, takes it in himself, does the sleeper on us.
Yeah, good. Let's give it some juice. Let's get the Seattle rivalry back going.
It was good. It was a fun game it was a fun football Sunday. And heck, even the Bears took Green Bay to the brink. You know, the Bills finally took care of business for the league. The Bills looked at the league and said, "Hey, we'll take care of this for you," and handled business against the Chiefs. Finally gave them their one loss. And to be honest, the Chiefs remind me of the Eagles last year when they started off 8-0, and it was mainly because they had won the majority of the games pretty close, and that's what they've been doing this year. And I feel like little by little they're gonna get some more losses. Anyway, I gotta go, big dog.
You gotta go. We're gonna do one last thing. Just remind the people: subscribe, like, share, or don't. No pressure. It's on you. It's on you. All right, cool. You gotta go. We'll get back to it. We'll do a show. I guess we'll figure it out. We'll do something later on this week. Give a preview of next week. We play the Packers.
We'll see you
in Lambeau, right? In Lambeau. All right. Peace.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. It's the Bowler Sports Report. I mean, who else would it be? Dreamatic. All right. Huh. There we go.